Hello, hello. This is the 223rd Test from the Future, a weekly podcast from the... can you scroll up? What am I saying again?
Sorry.
From an experimental podcast from the year 2225, which we are sending from our present to yours. My name is Dirk.
And my name is Simon.
And we're putting the past in podcast. Yes, 223 episodes, saying the exact same thing at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And mostly remembering.
I remembered like the first 5 words.
True. And I mean, I say that, I'm not the one who usually has to say it, so...
True, actually.
I've said it like once or twice, but that's it.
But yeah, 223 successful tests. Oh,
So we didn't
Tests.
get the first... Yeah, but the first 28,
yeah.
number 30, we never heard back from.
Yeah, okay. Then 223 tests, of which a whole bunch successful.
Correct.
And all properly pronounced intros.
Most definitely.
So for today, we brought a topic that we haven't mentioned before at all.
No, it's recent.
It's relatively new.
It's not just that we were slacking and didn't think to mention this in the previous few years.
And also when we did episode number 1, I'm not sure if this was around a couple of years ago, maybe at least not widely available.
Correct.
So what is it?
Neutrino surfing.
Yes, Neutrino Surfing. Just the name of it is already nice.
That's kind of why we picked it.
Yes.
As not just as a topic, but like, 'cause there's some more, as we'll go into, there's some broader stuff around neutrino surfing, but as a title, it sounds good.
Yes, and this is where whatever this is, sounds cool, let's do it and make an episode about it. So here we are.
We have a vigorous selection process for the topics that we talk about.
And it's also, we will speak about neutrino surfing in a bit more detail. But it's not the only thing, because we kind of learned that it's basically kind of like an example thing that you can do when you are super tiny.
Exactly.
And we will also speak about some of the other nice things you can do when you're super tiny.
Yep. And even how to get super tiny, and what even is it to be super tiny.
Yes, lots of super tiny topics to talk about. So how is super tiny different than normal tiny?
So we've talked about it previously.
Yeah.
That folk can shrink themselves down to smaller sizes. So one example is if you want to explore your Lego town that you have on the coffee tables in your living room, which I'm gesturing at for our listeners who can't see what I'm gesturing at. You can shrink yourself down to the size of a Lego man and walk around in there.
Very common. Yeah.
Exactly. That's one of the main uses for it, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, but then when you're shrinking down small like that, the way it works is when you're shrinking that tiny, it works by reducing the space between the atoms in your body.
Yep.
But you don't lose atoms. You're still all there, just that the space between your bits is shrunken.
If you have a favorite molecule in your body, it's still there when you're tiny, and it's still there when you're big.
Exactly.
And you can also see, and if you in most shrink cases, or I think in all shrink cases, you can see somebody who got shrunk walking around. So if you're in a shrink city or so, they're tiny, but they're still there, and you can still hear them.
Right. You don't need a microscope or any special equipment to detect.
Exactly. So maybe that's... you can get pretty tiny, but it's always still seeable. I don't think I've seen anybody smaller than, an ant, maybe.
Sure, yeah. And at that, those big chunky ants, not the really dainty ones. So that's regular tiny.
Yes, that's regular tiny.
Super tiny is when you also do lose physical matter.
Yeah.
And so the way that works is your brain pretty much need to keep all that physical matter in place. Like as before, the space is reduced between atoms and so on. But you keep all the ones for your brain, because that's pretty important stuff.
Yep.
But the rest of your body, that can be greatly simplified. And especially when you get down to neutrino surfing, it wouldn't actually benefit you to have arms and legs like you do as a full-size person.
Yep.
You actually need a whole different body, and that body is far, far simpler than a regular human one. It's like, meaning, you need to be able to grab on that neutrino to surf it after all. And so that allows people to be made much, much smaller. Not as obviously not smaller than a neutrino, that would be impossible.
Yeah.
But that's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. It's because you get so tiny, the whole balance of your body is off, right? Because your brain and your mind, they need to be there. But if your big toe isn't there, that doesn't really matter. So this is stored basically. So
Exactly, kept safe for you for when you get reverted back to your original size.
yeah, I guess a little bit similar to, I don't know if it's similar to anybody. I was thinking similar to teleportation, where you also, briefly don't exist and your body is basically stored, but it's
Maybe more similar to like going bowling, and you put your regular shoes, in a little thing, and you're wearing the bowling shoes, and then
Much
later
better.
you swap them back.
this is much better. Yeah. Okay, so
And in the case where your regular shoes are like huge, chunky combat boots, and you're wearing the much lighter, smaller bowling shoes.
yeah, exactly. Like shrinking to a super tiny size is kind of like bowling. But this is not something that you can do with a shrink gun or something at home. So it's not like what I think we've even done it on a show, shrunk ourselves down. It's too complicated, at least at the moment. Maybe at one point it'll like just a press of a button in your apartment, but at the moment you have to go to a special bubble chamber.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive actually, which makes sense. It's quite it's relatively new. It's quite expensive over time, like you say. Yeah, maybe it will become more common and also drop in price.
Yeah, and that's why I'm happy that we got to do it. With we, in this case, meaning you.
Yes. Exactly. So you've not done it yourself here, yeah?
Nope.
Exactly.
But I was happy to join you when you went tiny.
Exactly. So super tiny?
Yeah, super tiny.
Exactly. Went last week. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It felt really different, like you mentioned. Yeah, I've been shrunk down many times before, so I'm used to that sensation. This felt really different because I could feel my body disintegrating.
You could feel it?
It didn't hurt, but I could feel it. I could see it, as I was getting smaller, at least at the start. And it was a very strange sensation, very different from anything else I've tried.
It's weird with the bubble chamber. It was not transparent, so I could just basically see you go in, and then basically we could watch you while you were surfing on the big screen.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like I was saying, it was interesting. It didn't hurt, but it was a bit disturbing to see my body disintegrating. I can imagine that's why it's not got windows, the bubble chamber, that it doesn't disturb people on the outside.
Yeah, fair enough. So, was it kind of painful?
No, like I mentioned, the process wasn't. Oh, you mean actually surfing on the neutrinos?
No, yeah, actually, I was talking about the shrinking, but you already said before it wasn't actually
exactly. It was a tingling sensation.
Okay.
Like I say, so obviously when you try and describe something, you try and liken it to something else, but it really was unlike any other. Tingling is the closest I've got. Yeah, it's just the very start, but then as it progressed, I can't think of anything else. It's like I can recommend trying it one day for yourself.
Or maybe it was a little bit like bowling. If you've been bowling a long time, you get this tingling in your hand.
Yeah, that's a different thing. I think that's nerve damage.
Okay.
This was more like, okay, this is a good way of putting it, at least at the start, like I say. Getting into a bubble bath, but instead of it being like bubbles from soap, it's actually super fizzy water. So it's like tingling all over you, Something like that. Okay,
so it's a little bit like bowling in fizzy water.
Sure. I think maybe you're stretching the bowling thing a bit far, but something like that.
But what I was wondering, because you get so reduced, can you even see anything? Like, do you still have eyes?
And that's why I'm mentioning at the start, yes, like as you're getting, so it's a gradual, not gradual, but it's not like click your finger, you're instantly tiny. It takes a little time. But then beyond a certain point, then, I could still sense what was around me, but it wasn't seeing anymore.
Okay.
It's a bit hard to describe. It's a bit like, so similar thing would be if, say, you're walking around in your apartment at night, you haven't got any lights on, but you kind of know where everything is.
Okay.
And of course, in that case, it's familiarity. It was like that, only it was a whole new place that I'd never been before. But somehow that's how it felt like getting around.
Was it really pitch black? Because we could follow you on the main screen, and we could see all kinds of colors and shapes.
Sure, yeah. Neither. It was not pitch black, but it also did not look like there was light.
Okay, weird.
Very weird.
They were explaining while I was watching there weren't physical images. It's like there weren't cams down there where you were.
Right, it's too tiny.
Yeah, so it was more like they said it was more like an interpretation. So those shapes and colors were more sensations.
Maybe part of it,
Yeah.
I mean, part of the interpretation was adding that for you to enjoy it. I mean, I think at some point my mind must have been filling in blanks. So because I do remember there being shifting colours, but I know that's impossible because I didn't have eyes to see colours, you know.
Interesting. Because like you yourself, you were you could kind of see you. It felt more like
an avatar version of me?
No, more like a shape. You were kind of like a black shape with like a line around it, as if you were drawn. Exactly, that's how it looked like.
I mean, that's definitely part of the interpretation. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it sounds cool. I didn't even think to ask that beforehand. Did you get a recording of what I was up to? Like, because I'd be interested to see that myself.
I didn't.
I mean, I can always write to them tomorrow and ask if they keep recordings. If they don't, I can always go next to, hey, when you go, come on and check it out. I'm saying when you go, if you go.
You think if it was part of the package, maybe you had to pay extra to get your own recording? That's usually
how such things work, yeah. And I didn't notice that, but maybe I just didn't. Maybe I glossed over it by accident.
But it looked really, really cool, you know, even if it was just shapes and colors and your shape, because it did really look like you were surfing. You know, you were also standing on something that, you know, I mean, I know it's
right. That's how I remember it too. Like, yeah, surfing is a good way of putting it. I guess it's not so in the sense I wasn't walking, I wasn't running, I wasn't walking on my hands or something like that. It really felt like surfing in the sense of gliding over things and around things. I think there weren't waves, but somehow, yeah, you know, jumping and spinning around and stuff like that.
Was it like? Did you notice like changes while you were surfing? Like now it's different than before. Like I'm in a different area because I mean we could see sometimes it felt narrow, sometimes it felt really wide, sometimes it even had like the resemblance of like a
cityscape.
Yeah, but it was all kind of like watery. I mean, it did feel.
So yes, it wasn't uniform. Yeah. Like wherever it was that I was neutrino surfing, there were landmarks. You know, there were bits that were, for example, tightly packed together. Other parts where it was more spread out. Places where it was really like hilly, you know, up and down a whole lot. Other places really flat as far as the eye could see. The speed at which it felt like I was moving was mind-boggling. Yeah, like again, it wasn't visual, but it the closest analog I can think of is as if you were skateboarding, I guess, or surfing, you know, if it was on water, but that I was moving so fast, it was like, getting to the other side of the earth in 2 seconds or something like that. Only this was a much larger area, so it wasn't like getting to the end of something. It was just, there was so much to explore.
Nice. And I can imagine sometimes if you're if you're going at a really high speed, that you have this kind of like queasy sensation in your
I think like body, but full size, yes, but I didn't have that.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So you have the really full sensation of speed without the downsides effect that your human body can have.
Yeah.
It like from the feeling that it had, it felt like you weren't really on the floor of something. It really felt like you were like surfing through like a fluid environment. I don't know, like 3D. I don't know how to describe it. It was at least very fun to watch.
That's cool.
And I even got the feeling that you could steer.
Yeah, I was in control.
Ah, yeah, really? Ah, okay.
I thought in control of where I was going.
Ah, I thought you were going along like a path. Like a
No, it wasn't on rails, and it wasn't like I was, someone else was driving, and then I was being that I was a passenger. Nope, I was in control of where I moved, where I surfed.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was. It felt very experimentational, also. Like this is now available. You can buy it, but we're still kind of like working on things.
Right, a bit like a tech demo, yeah. Like, because I enjoyed the thing, but there was no like plot. There wasn't a storyline or anything like that, you know. So for folk who enjoy entertainment with maybe something to say.
Oh, what's coming? What's this?
It's my back robot.
I want to give you a back rub now.
Yeah, let me just send it back. No, I'll see you later. So later on today, back rubber, but not now, okay? I'm in the middle of something, okay?
I just wanted to rub your back now.
It doesn't. I understand why. It's because lately I've actually been sleeping on my back. So, it's used to me sleeping on my front, stroking my back as I fall asleep. But it's so hot right now, I've actually found that sleeping on my back feels better for sleeping through, not falling asleep actually, that's still a bit weird. Falling asleep laying on my back feels weird, but I sleep much better through the night. I feel better rested when I wake up. Great for me, not so great for my back rubber.
Because usually it's hanging from your...
above my bed.
Exactly, because we're now in the living room, but it somehow made its way here because it wants some attention.
Exactly.
Okay.
So nice. I mean, I'll have a nice conversation with her later, but not right now.
Just I wasn't. Usually there's not something big lowering down from the ceiling while we were recording.
Yeah, that's pretty unusual. I mean, occasionally when I'm here by myself, I'll get a back rub while I'm doing some work.
Okay,
but exactly not when they've got guests.
Okay, so this completely got me out of it. Or
oh yeah, right. The one other thing I would say is, like I say, it felt limitless while I was surfing around.
Okay.
Until the end, where I reached the wall. So
really?
Yeah, it was like it was simply that I got to a point where I couldn't move further, and because everywhere else I had been moving, without any impediment, it was a very strange way to end. And then, as I was like wondering, hey, what's going on now? Okay, then I was, growing back, or being, brought back to my original size.
Where were you anyway? I never really.
So that's the thing, I was so tiny. It was all within that room. Mm-hmm. On a tiny tabletop.
Okay, so you weren't.
So that's where I was, really, but I was so
somewhere.
tiny that it felt like this. I mean, I was somewhere. I was in that room, but exactly, I didn't need to actually go exploring. It needs to be in a controlled environment. You're that tiny.
So you were in the build room all the time.
Exactly. You need to be shielded from just radiation. So solar flares cause other problems, but you know what I mean. You need to be in a shielded environment that you're not accidentally blown off into the distance.
But like in the bubble room, you weren't in something else, like a Neutrino Surfing.
Sure.
Something.
No, it was really like a surfboard.
Okay.
I mean, that's how it felt to me.
Cool. Mm-hmm. But then it's this part is basically based on the brochure, because you went Neutrino Surfing.
Yeah.
We have all kinds of other things you can do when you're super tiny.
Yeah, or at least, some of these you can do now. Some of these are things that will be coming soon. Because, like we mentioned, this is relatively new. So some of these are things that are saying, hey, next summer, try out. And then some of these things we're about to talk about.
And exactly, and they had some posters hanging around, but it's like these are things that none of us have done.
Oh yeah, no. So I haven't.
But there's definitely one. If we're going to do a future episode about one of these, I want to pitch the Hadron bouncing. Mm-hmm. Did you see that? They had a big poster. That's apparently already working.
Okay, yeah. I did see it because that was really eye-catching. And they had a slogan, "Watch out for the quarks."
Yeah.
But then like you mentioned, you were watching an interpretation of what I was doing. Mm-hmm. They do a really good job of that in their marketing and their posters and so on. So that one really did look impressive.
That's that looked also, if you saw the poster, it felt like some sort of unlimited 3D zero graph bouncy castle with the most amazing shapes you can imagine. I
think there's some artistic license there. Like I mentioned, how for me it was really. I wouldn't. Anyways, yes, makes sense. It looks really impressive.
If it's half as impressive as the poster, I'm fine. Although I didn't check what it cost. I know the Neutrino Surfing was quite pricey.
Yeah. And actually thinking about it, especially they're advertising it visually, they need to take some artistic license because so much of what I enjoyed about the Neutrino Surfing was the sensation.
Yeah,
and that's hard to put across in an image. But then there were a couple of others. Lepton licking. Which I assumed it was a joke actually when I saw it. I asked about it. I said, no, that one's so again not this summer but next summer. We hope to have it perfected.
I saw the name, but I haven't looked at what it actually is.
Yeah.
Did you or?
They didn't want to give spoilers. Like it's in that sense like teaser posters. Got a name, they got some imagery, but
coming soon, Lepton licking, and it's just like stay tuned or subscribe to the newsletter and you'll find out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yourself? Did any catch your eye?
Yeah, the Paint-A-Barian. That's I think either it's already there or it's coming like next week or so.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is literally Paint-A-Barian. Somehow they figure out how to change the colors on things. So it's not and apparently it specifically works very well with baryons. That's how I understood it. So you can actually, it's more like an artistic experience.
Like painting an Easter egg, but much smaller.
Yeah, exactly. But then on a really tiny scale. Yeah. So I'm not really sure how it works. Is it with your mind or with gestures or whatever?
Sure.
But apparently, it's for the artistic people among us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything else you were thinking about?
Oh, I mean, so I don't really want to try it myself. Not that I wouldn't mind. So I have no intention to try it. Maybe I will one day. But it was on my mind because I've recently grown back my own, and it was have a glue-on beard.
Yeah.
The image was of a person with a big bushy beard, but the idea was the beard itself was made of glue-ons.
But I mean, I can imagine that being fun for 5 seconds, and then what?
Right. I mean, okay. Yeah, okay. Neutrino Surfing sounds impressive, just from the name, and having a glue-on beard. Not so much,
but maybe I mean
maybe it's something you need to experience.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, they've been trying out all of these things. Maybe this is particularly fun.
Yeah, and actually saying that for people who don't grow beards, regularly.
Yeah, I guess.
And then it could be much more exciting as well.
Or maybe it's not like a beard how we're imagining it. Maybe it's something different.
Sure.
Just how maybe leptin licking is also not really what we're thinking.
By not actually licking with your tongue, but something else.
Yeah, although I'm not really thinking. But maybe having a glue-on beard really means something totally different, or maybe it's something that represents a whole bunch of other things. So maybe it's like a purchasable add-on to some of the other stuff.
Sure, yeah.
If you're Hadron bouncing, it's just 10% more, you get a glue-on beard.
And maybe when you're licking the leptons, I don't know, leptons are really spiky, and the beard helps cushion your face.
Cool. Licking a lepton with a glue-on beard. This could be another episode title. Yeah, lots of listeners. Yeah, okay. But if we ever end up trying some of these, we'll let our listeners know.
I can come back to them.
Yeah. So there was a listener question.
There is. Yeah. Would you mind reading this one? Thanks.
It was even more aimed at me. Anyway, so it's from Cassandra. She says, "Hola muchachos. Todo bien? You haven't mentioned the robot buddy program in a while. Is that still a thing? Adios, Cassandra." Okay.
And I mean, it is still a thing in the world, but we haven't mentioned it because we both graduated.
Yes.
Got our black belts.
Yeah. I got it with Napoleon after being buddies. Although, just to clarify, humans call it a robot buddy program. They call it a human buddy program.
Yeah.
But it's
so Napoleon also got their belt as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we still hang out, but we're official graduates. So it's I mean, there's still events for graduates and so on, but we went through the whole program, and we're still friends. Same for you.
Exactly, likewise. So it's no longer a part of my daily life, but it was a really good experience.
And I mean, also means we're free. So if there's future robots coming up, and although I haven't threw my hat in yet, but
it's fair to take a little break.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
So then, listeners to Tests from the Future, we'd really appreciate it if you send an email to michaellasagna5@gmail.com and put the number 223 into the subject line so that we know this episode successfully went back in time. And if you'd like, ask us random questions or tell us random things. Go nuts.
Exactly. We're happy to read anything. But for now, thanks for listening, and see you in 200 years.
Bye-bye.